Good morning, my friends. For those of you that didn't see my last video, which was the morning, this is just mid-morning. And probably half an hour, I'd say, till Dougie gets here. I would guess 3 o'clock. To do is digging of this ditch that doesn't exist yet. Mosquito, get out of my way. Oh, you know what I just did? Scooped this, but I wasn't ready with this. My lovely, handy dandy, little simple, which is what I love now. I look in a design of anything, simplicity, function, and form. Man, something that's not going to fall apart is going to last you forever. This is my roaster. It's called the Hive Roaster, and I love it more every day. And it cost me hardly anything. I think it was $75 or something. So I put my coffee beans in here. These are the Red Honey Costa Rican coffee beans that I took a chance on and did not regret it at all. I got 5 pounds of it, and now I found out, mentioned to a lot of you know already, I found out that the coffee bean expands to almost double when you roast it. At least this batch does. So just magically now, that means I have twice as much coffee. So what the 5 pounds gave me now is double that, or maybe at least 2/3. We'll see. But so I'm putting in my little filters, my lovely AeroPress that I also love. And so here's my little slopper thing. There's my roaster, or I mean, my grinder. Ow! Ouch! That was a really particularly good nerve to choose, man. Okay, this is part of my Easy Presso, which I also love, 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 love. Between these 3 things and my beans, nothing could be better to start your morning. Now just gotta flick with a flicker. Oh, life is good in between the punches. Life is good in between the waves. Ow. You know, they say, with music, it's the spaces between the sounds that are the most important, and with poetry as well. And maybe that's with life. You know, it's the spaces in between that which at first you think is life. So right now, I noticed the other day, and I noticed just now, out here they call them no-see-ums, and they're these teeny little flying bugs that cause just this horrible little kind of sting pinch bite. And there they go. You can just barely see them. And the thing is, they can get in through a screen door. The average screening doesn't stop them, so that's an annoying thing. And I noticed they are starting to come out. So we now have mosquitoes and black flies that are on the way out. No-see-ums. I don't know how much yet in here. And then, of course, horse flies, deer flies that so far haven't really been bad at all. I'd love to know how everyone else is doing. out there. So please leave comments. I encourage you to take part in this video series. Become a part of it. It's not TV. It's an interactive situation. And on top of that, I'm inviting you into my experience. Ow. Not mosquitoes. They took me. I thought I was including them. Got a wonderful message yesterday from a friend out there who knows a lot more than I do about real estate stuff, who's going to help me understand what my rights are, just in case I get harassed. But which was really nice right at that point where I got home and was stressed for a bit. So thank you very much. They know who they are. You have no idea. You didn't know the timing of your message when it came in. And it was really welcome. So thank you very much. You know, I have such a wide field of friends. And I'm really, really grateful for it. And I also want to thank all the people that have donated for Raven's Healing Fund, the GoFundMe. Once again, you have no idea. You know, someone just out of the blue thinks, hey, I'll just donate some money, and someone else does, and a little bit comes in. And it always comes in right when it's needed, right when Raven is short on like money for antibiotics in this case. Not so natural, but got to that point. So we are so grateful. I can't put it into words. You know, I feel so warm inside. You know, people that know us but don't, kind of thing, in a lot of cases, or that don't know us, just know of us, and who help us out like that. There's that crack. Got some kamikaze mosquitoes here, dive bombing the flame. Okay. So I'm just going by a feel, which is still new and fresh for me, so we'll see how it looks, how these coffee beans look. Now that I've stopped the roast, yesterday I did a kind of a light medium roast, and then my second one, I took those and I roasted them a bit more, so I got a dark roast. And today, or like a bold roast, I guess. Today I will say it's maybe a sort of medium to dark. Could be dark. And I'm just playing with these levels of roasting. What a freedom that you don't have to just go, okay, do I want light, medium, dark? But you can go anywhere in between with this customizing. You know, I've always been about customizing, having something developed for that individual, hence my soul prints. And ever since I got a tattoo when I was This was 19. It was the one I got when I was in Ottawa. I got a custom made one. Both the first two I got when I was out west in Katimavik in 1980, 81. But then I came back to Ottawa, where I was living and grew up most of the time, where my lovely mother and family were. And I got a unicorn, but it wasn't so custom. But it was kind of had that British look, the Rampart unicorn. And at that time, I was feeling very patriotic to England. I had never been there, and I love England. I love. Don't get me wrong. I loved the people. I loved going around there. I loved my conventions. But you know, as I grew up, I learned the history of England and its controlling nature. And I didn't feel as connected as when I was a child. So, got much more into searching out my roots and realized, actually really from Dublin, Irish background, a little bit of Russian Jewish background from my grandfather's side, my mother's father's side. Don't know anything about my father's side. Evidently, he left when my father was a baby. Who knows if that had anything to do with my father being so abusive to me and others, just arrogant and real puss bag. I grew up with a puss bag father. He was very abusive. Didn't enjoy it, but it did teach me a lot. Okay. So that which I just roasted was a scoop of this little measuring thing. So I'll show you if I make the same scoop of these beans after roasting. Right there. I've still got 1 cup's worth, 1 scoop's worth still left. So, surprise, double your money. That's a pretty good thing in my books. It's supposed to rain today. It looks like it will rain today. I should have scrolled on my little weather app to see when they're predicting the rain's going to come down. But I'm sure Dougie is on top of that way before me. Locals here. One of the things I love about out here is people are generally tend to be a lot more connected. Really simple ways. I mean, you're out here all your life. You get a feel for things. You know, most people out here hunt. They have a deer in the freezer that balances out their pocketbook expenses and things. It's a necessity as well as an enjoyment, but overall mostly a necessity. And I have a lot of respect for that, and a lot of appreciation for people that live off the land. There. Oh, gosh. Okay. I thought. Yeah. Definitely have to bring up the temperature of the water. Ooh, actually starting to feel it really chilly. Pull down my sleeves. It actually feels a bit chillier than when I first woke up. So it's cooling down. Camel, coffee, water. I am looking forward to drinking you. Have I told you I love having my morning coffee? I think I have. Okay. Little Chipper is over behind the camera, checking things out. He's still testing me out to see how safe he is coming up closer, but we'll see. He's in good hands. So maybe I'll just do a little mini ad for me. I'm accepting people at the moment. I'm inviting people and accepting people to email me at bodyart@urbanprimitive.com because I am getting very close to ready to open up shop, soul print style. Don't know for sure when, but it's coming down the road. And it's gonna feel good getting back into the flow after so long. Anticipating. So give me a dingle, send me an email if you're interested or just have some questions about it. I wonder if there's going to be any sun later on today. Okay, that looks like it's about ready. Take one of my many stir. Oh yeah, there's a wind picking up. I can feel it, I can hear it. Trying to make sure my beans are well protected. Once that's safe. Make sure that other stuff is also. Last thing I want is something to rust. Not fun. How many of you guys and gals drink their coffee black? It's a romantic idea of mine. I always find people want their coffee black and it just seems so simple. You know, you're tasting the full coffee unaffected by cream or milk or soy. And so I told myself what I would do because I still like a little splash of cream. I don't like sugar. Never have in my coffee, but splash of cream. But I told myself when I was doing this with the roasting and everything that I would have a sip always before I put the cream in. And I'm just intending that over time, I can remember when I started, I wanted to like olives. There's a whole bunch of things when I was a kid that adults had that I didn't like the taste of. But over time, I gained an appreciation for the taste of many things. I always throw my coffee grinds on the ground slowly. This will be a more nutritious soil content, let's say. Could use my filter twice if I had some way of rinsing it off, but I don't. So for now, it is what it is. experiences with roasting. I haven't roasted a lot of different coffee beans, but this red honey is red honey Costa Rican is damn smooth with a little hint of sweet. It's just yummy. And I definitely find I more enjoyed this black than just one of your average coffees that you'd choose from the store. There's more depth, more subtleties in amongst the depth of the flavor. Oh, it is good. If it rains, I don't have a lot of water protection from the rain there, from the little bit of roof. So, won't be the most comfortable thing cooking my breakfast while it's raining if it does. So I'll just hope that it doesn't rain till later. And if it does, I haven't yet turned on my little ranges over at the trailer, but I do have my little mobile range, propane. I can just bring it over there and I can cook my oatmeal over there and maybe make a little video while I'm doing it, if that's what happens and I get rained out. But I don't know, Dougie must be on the ball with the weather, so he probably knows it's not going to rain until a little bit later. You know, anyone wants to come for a little visit, hang out for a moment, drop by for 5 minutes, come for a coffee. Show you around. The bird flew over there. How many, just curious, how many people are or have thought about moving out further from wherever, from a smaller city, from a bigger city, from from a town to the country, whatever? How many people have entertained these thoughts? And I'm just curious, how many are fairly serious about it? Just really excited about the idea of more of a community forming in like a wider range community. I don't mean within 15-minute drive, like an hour drive kind of community. There's so much over time that we want to do here that involves people and gatherings and sharing love in whatever that's being done, whether it's an art class or just hanging out, maybe a coffee tasting. I'm drinking this black because it's quite palatable, and also because my cream is way down at the trailer and I don't want to interrupt the video. And it's a good way to just get myself drinking the coffee black. But yeah, this is the most palatable black coffee I've ever had. I can't get over the subtle smell, like the layers in the smell, but yet it's still subtle. Like most coffee would need to be roasted more to get that slight burnt taste, which I like. I'm not cutting it, but I don't notice those layers that this has. I can't wait actually to. I still haven't tried it. The coffee bean fruit tea I ordered. Got a few little specialty things, very small amounts because they were expensive and rare. Uh, One was enough for 2 cups, maybe, of this certain coffee. And whenever I have it, I'll pull it out and do a video. But I'm waiting for Raven to share that with. So, but I don't want to wait too long. So whenever we next meet, maybe I'll bring that coffee with me, and we can have it together. Maybe Carla, who she's staying with, to make them all a cup of coffee. I know Carla likes coffee. Funny, my mind just wandered, and I'm going to share where it went. I was thinking about where Raven's staying with Carla in Washago, which is Aurelia, and my mind just went off on a little thing I didn't even notice until I caught myself. And I was thinking about the whole lockdown thing and how people hardly talked and they're all walking around, and I thought, what is there like? Well, I didn't even think this. I reenacted, or not reenacted. I had the experience almost like a dream through my thoughts of just this little reality unfolding, where I was sitting on Carla's steps, this little village area in Roshago, and because I was thinking about making the coffee, and I thought, what if I was to sit out there on the steps and roasted coffee beans right there as people walk by on my little burner, propane burner, and had a little sign saying free coffee for anyone that wants to have a coffee. What would it invite? I'm sure one or two people will stop by, others would smile, just take the gesture, it was lovely, and others would find it offensive or something, who knows, or they'd just be shy and not sure what to do. I'm not going to offer free hugs, maybe a little too controversial, but a free coffee, if I sat up there, you can make a coffee for someone and, stick it over a little bit away and they can come over and take it. You can have a little conversation while sipping our coffee at a social distance. It's not a difficult thing to do. Who knows, maybe I'll do that. Got to get some more common coffee beans, because I don't want to use up that if I'm just doing it to the general public, because I don't know how many coffees I'll end up making, and I don't want to use up all my red honey. Oh. Very nice. Very nice. I kind of imagine, now having a little selection of green coffee beans, all with labels, and just getting up in the morning and just looking at my little selection, like a spice rack, and just thinking, oh, what shall I have today? Should I have some medium roast red honey Costa Rican coffee, or shall I have some Liberica rare coffee beans to make my coffee, or what else? What a nice, like, you can get quite decadent for basically, once you're set up, you could be having a decadent experience of this selection and the control you have over your roasting and brewing. But yet, because you're buying green beans, you're saving so much money that you could easily be spending less for more. You could be spending less than the pre-roasted coffee that you get somewhere because you're roasting it yourself, which balances out and allows you to have some more exotic adventures, but for no extra cost, and sometimes maybe even for less. For me, that's a no-brainer. I don't know why it's taken me this long. Way back 20 something years ago in Toronto, I enjoyed the Ethiopian coffee ceremony, and I got myself a little pot and I roasted a few times. But it's weird. It's like I didn't have the drive, I didn't have the confidence, I didn't have the faith. I felt like it would be way more technical and it would just be so much work trying to get to a point where it was worth drinking that I just kind of gave it up. You know, I'm thinking back to it now and I think how much of what we think we cannot do or we think is too difficult is of our own making, our own projection. Because I'm realizing, man, a lot of mine is. I got another little parallel. The crack, you know, it's starting to get ready, and you get that first crack, and the second. Maybe we're meant to crack open as well for the true loving energy to flow. Maybe we need sometimes these difficult challenges to crack us open, crack open our heart, to bring out the full flavor of our experience and to fully live in the moment. Maybe all these complications that are like carrots for us. And I was roped into that one big time in many ways. Maybe they draw us away from our potential. Maybe they draw us away from our wholeness in many ways. Just a thought. Welcome your comments on that one. I really, really would. I'm just mulling it over. It's something that I don't know the answer to, but I am definitely pursuing to find the answer in my experiences. I'm gonna end this video very soon because I think, well, my coffee is coming close to the end, but also Dougie should be here any moment, and I want to be ready, and I also want to make sure anything that can get wet is out of the way before it rains, because I don't want to put on wet jackets and things if it gets chillier than this. So I think I will, yeah, 33. Ah, missed it.